Peace. Quick look. Think fast. Which it could be a a longer discussion, but think fast. Uh, but you know, does the size matter? You know what I'm saying? Or is it all about the motion and the ocean? You know what I'm saying? But dealing with crystals, of course. You know what I'm saying? Keep that in mind. Place your mind wherever it's a free will universe. Have your mind wherever you would like it to be. But is it about the size? Does size matter, or is it all about the motion in the ocean? You know what I'm saying? Of course, this question is dealing with with the crystals, of course. Matter of fact, I actually got this question from a customer dealing with jewelry where they were asking me about the size of the crystals and how effective would it be dealing with the size of them. And that's a great question to to ask and deal with when you're first getting into crystals. And it's so much to that situation. It's basically no one definition like, oh yes, all big stones are better and give all, what I'm saying? Nah, it's no definition like that. It's different stones. I can say for one that earthier stones, like stones like jasper, stones that have like less of a higher vibration, they're really they're those type of crystals are more harder to feel vibrationally when they're smaller because they have less of that high vibration, that zing, like ding, that you could feel. So, so not only does it have that, so picture in its regular form, no matter the size, it doesn't, a lot of jaspers and agates, they have a slow vibration, kind of like a quiet vibration, what we would call quiet. Like it's not like as soon as you put it in your hand, it's like, oh, like dang, I feel it. It's more of like, using it, and then after so many days of working with it, you'll be seeing the differences and feeling it after prolonged use, and not like after as soon as you put it in your hand, it's like jolting. So I would say like with jaspers, things of that nature, the vibration would be felt you know less with smaller, and that's with most crystals. But again, dealing with jaspers and agates and crystals that have like I say, more of a quiet vibration, less of a high vibration, you can't, you just don't feel them as much, as the other types of crystals. As soon as you contact them, now you have certain crystals like amberite, phenakite, which phenakite is the perfect example where they high vibrational crystals. So you could have like a little phenakite chip, you know what I'm saying, piece of phenakite that's the size of I don't know, but just a little small chip, and it would give off abundant vibration that you could feel because that crystal has a high vibration, so that high vibration could be felt, you know what I'm saying, no matter the size of the crystal. Like you don't need a big crystal for the energy to be felt, as if like say for instance for like a Jasper gate where that energy would be felt just right up front. You possibly would have to like find a bigger piece of Jasper Gate to feel the strength of it, as soon as you touch it. If you want to feel it as soon as you touch it, then yes, the stone or crystal would, have to be bigger. But for dealing with crystals like amberite and again phenakite, you know, the crystal doesn't have to be big. A matter of fact, in most cases, like with strong high vibrational crystals like that, you actually don't want them to be too big, or at least if they're that big, you don't want to be carrying them on you unless you got some type of grounding stone. You know, and then two, you have and it's just like the mathematics or the physics of the universe on all levels. Because you could have like say for instance, you got a small piece of phenakite, compared to a big piece of jasper. what vibration would outweigh the other, and it would depend on the strength of how, how strong this small phenokite is, and how strong this jasper is, and the size of it, you know what I'm saying? Because matter of fact, another thing dealing with reason why by default in most cases the size, the bigger it is, the more the vibration could be felt because of the physics of the situation. You got more of the mineral or chemical makeup of a certain molecule within this structure. So the bigger the structure is, the more of this chemical or mineral you have, and the more of the molecular structure or vibration could be felt. You know what I'm saying, on that level also. But it's really, it's not necessarily about, having like the biggest crystals in certain situations, because in most cases crystals are very strong, and most crystals, matter of fact, most precious crystals and stones have high vibrations, so they don't really need, you don't really need a big crystal to use, to feel the energy from it. Like with lapis, like most people possibly would feel uncomfortable with a piece of lapis this big, like some people, are super sensitive to energy in that way where, they like, nah, I can't deal with it. And I just say super sensitivity, but it's a sensitivity and dealing with their own individual vibration, Some of us could handle more of a vibration of certain stones than others, But the size of crystals, like I said, could vary. It varies on the chemical makeup, on whether, how strong it is. So say for instance, yes, if you have like a small piece of like jet, or like a small piece of, trying to think of a very earthy stone, like a red jasper, small pieces of, and then two, also what may vary, which, you know isn't really spoken on, but like you may get small crystals with another crystal inside, or another, what I'm saying, like where you could have a small, say for instance, a small piece of pyrite, for example, but it got a little piece of quartz on the inside, unknowingly, unbeknownst to you. So it has a little small piece of quartz that's amplifying that. So even though it's a small piece of pyrite, it got a piece of quartz that's in it amplifying it. So when it would come across another piece of pyrite, so say for instance, it would come across a bigger piece of pyrite, it will possibly still have more of a, how can I say, it would have a vibration that could be felt more, because even though it's small, it has that quartz in it amplifying it. So again, it varies between sizes and chemical variations. You know what I'm saying? What's the makeup of it? You know what I'm saying? Because the makeup of the uh, the different crystals decides, in essence, how strong, or how big a crystal needs to be, and the strength of the crystal. You know what I'm saying? So like if you're dealing with, like again, a earthy, a crystal that deals more with earthier vibrations. You know what I'm saying? Dealing with the lower chakras. To really actually feel it as soon as you touch it. Yes, you would need a bigger crystal to deal with that type of energy. You know what I'm saying? Because it has a slower, lower vibration, not a low vibration, but just slow and lower than, something that isn't so earthy, you know what I'm saying, compared to like quartz or danbarite and these different types of high vibrational crystals, where they don't need to be big in size for you to feel them, you know what I'm saying? They got the motion in the ocean. You know what I'm saying? So you don't need a big piece of phenakite, because it does the job no matter what size it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that go across the board for everything, but just being facetious. But also you got like like this tanzanite I got in here also. Tanzanite is another one, which too is the scarcity and the rarity of it is why people mining it so small. I put like this. The piece I got was like $8, for how small it was. So in order for people to probably sell it to the masses on that level, it just has to be that small. But Tanzanite, another one where as small as it is, like I remember working with it, like carrying it around, which the thing with that though, it was too small to actually be a pocket stone, so it came close to getting lost a bunch of times. But as a matter of fact, I actually found this. I forgot where I had it, but it was lost for the longest, and I ended up coming across it. I'm like, all right, I'm either just keep it in a little container, or I'm gonna, wrap it in a manner where I'm gonna make sure it doesn't come out. You know, but again, size. I guess we can say, size does matter to an extent. But again, it's also about the chemical makeup, that molecular structure, which makes up, the motion in the ocean. How it moves, how it vibrates, you know what I'm saying? And the vibration of it and what it's chemically made out of also determines the strength, you know what I'm saying? So size, you know, correlating with, chemical makeup and chemical structure, also. So it's, all that mixed into, the situation. So to answer, again, concluding on the situation, like the size of crystals, do they matter? Again, they vary by, by the types of crystals and, like the chemical makeups have different, different type of vibrations that they give off. And dealing with chemical makeups, some, some vibrations of some minerals and different chemicals. And I say chemical, minerals, all this, you know what I'm saying? Different elements, you know what I'm saying? These different elements have these different vibrations, and it just all depends on the element. If the element is more earthier, then than the stone would, because, and again, there's no absolute to that, because just like how I'm bringing up that Jaspers and and the gates, you know, need to be bigger in size to be felt right, right then and there. You may come across that one piece of jasper, that could be small, and it could again go to comparison of like what I did, talked about with the pyrite, where it may have a, even though it's small, it may have like an extra punch of quartz in the inside of it that you can't visually see, which makes it stronger than a a bigger stone of the of the same chemical and elemental makeup, so just different variations of the situation. But I hope that kind of help. And again, so when you're dealing with like phenokite, high vibrational stones, they don't necessarily have to be big, and in most cases they're so high vibrational, you don't really need, a big stone to deal with, you know what I'm saying? And then dealing with your less high vibrational crystals, you know, the small one's still gonna give off a vibration that could be felt, but again, because of the fact that, earthier crystals have more of a slower vibration and more of a vibration that kind of, works over time, you won't really feel it as much when it is smaller compared to if you had a bigger piece, you know what I'm saying? So, but peace, happy now. Again, whether the size matter or it's all about the motion of the ocean, it's up to you. Is your perception and is your preference. Different strokes for different folks. So, size, emotion in the ocean. It's up to you. But we're not going too far in the future. Not going too far in the past right now.